I have been staring at my banking app for 20 minutes, just staring at it. There is exactly $1,000 sitting in my newly formed emergency fund. It is a nice round number. It represents safety. It represents a flat tire I can actually pay for or a sudden vet bill that won't ruin my month. And yet, instead of feeling safe, I feel guilty. Like genuinely sick to my stomach guilty. I look at that $1,000 and then I swipe left to see my credit card balance. $8,400. The interest rate is 24%. And a voice in my head is screaming at me. What are you doing? You are losing money every single day you keep that cash.
Losing money.
You are being stupid. Pay the debt. Pay it now. This is my real-time journey, not expert advice. Here is exactly what happened. Honestly, I feel like a fraud. I sat down at my kitchen table tonight, just slumped over with a heavy cloud over my head, and I almost transferred the whole $1,000 to the credit card company. My thumb was hovering right over the transfer button. My heart was actually racing. It felt like I was holding a secret I wasn't supposed to have. The logic seems so simple, right? If you have debt costing you 24% and savings earning basically nothing, the math says, pay the debt. It's objectively the smart financial move. I know the math. I've read the books. I know that by holding this $1,000, I am technically choosing to pay interest that I don't have to pay. But I couldn't press the button. I just froze. Because while the math was screaming, pay it off, my anxiety was whispering something much louder. What if? What if the car breaks down tomorrow? What if I get sick? If I send this money to the bank and then something bad happens next week, I'll just have to swipe the credit card again. I'll be right back where I started, only with more shame. It feels like a battle between my calculator and my nervous system. The calculator says I'm an idiot for keeping this cash. The nervous system says this cash is the only thing letting me sleep at night. I spent the last hour trying to figure out why doing the wrong thing feels like the only safe option, and why doing the right thing feels terrifying. I realized that for me, right now, having $0 in the bank is actually scarier than the debt itself. But admitting that I'm willingly paying interest just to see 4 digits in my savings account, that feels embarrassing to say out loud. So I forced myself to sit down and actually look at the cold, hard numbers. I wanted to see exactly how much this guilt was costing me. I pulled up a simple interest calculator, nothing fancy, just a free one I found on Google, and plugged in the data. Here is the reality of my situation. My credit card balance is $8,400. The interest rate is brutal, sitting at roughly 24%. If I took that $1,000 sitting in my savings and threw it at the debt, my balance would drop to $7,400. That sounds great, right? But then I looked at what holding on to that cash actually costs. By not paying that $1,000 toward the debt, I am effectively paying 24% interest on that specific money. That comes out to about $240 a year. Or, to break it down to my monthly budget, it is exactly $20 a month. I sat back in my chair and stared at that number. $20? It feels like standing next to a fire. Every month I take a crisp $20 bill, light it on fire, and watch it burn to ash. That is literally what I am doing. By keeping this money in a savings account that earns pennies while my debt grows at 24%. The math brain was screaming again. You are wasting $20 a month. You are throwing money away. You're being illogical. And for a long time, I listened to that voice. In the past, whenever I scraped together $500 or $600, I would immediately throw it at the credit card. I thought I was being aggressive. I thought I was winning. I would see the balance go down, and I'd feel this momentary rush of victory. But here is the messy truth of what always happened next. 2 weeks later, life would happen, and life doesn't care about my debt-free goals. Last year, I aggressively paid off $800 on a Monday. I felt like a hero. On Thursday, my car started making a noise that sounded like a blender full of rocks. The repair bill was $650. Because I had drained my checking account to pay the credit card, I had exactly $0.0 accessible cash. I didn't have a choice. I had to fix the car to get to work. So what did I do? I pulled out the same credit card I had just paid off and I swiped it for $650. It's a cycle where the line goes down, looking good, and then immediately spikes back up. That cycle is devastating. It's not just about the money, it's about what it does to your head. When I had to swipe that card again, I felt like a total failure. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, sweating and sprinting, but not actually moving an inch. I was stuck in this loop of pay, emergency, borrow, repeat. So, looking at my $1,000 savings balance today, I realized something. The anxiety I feel isn't about the math. It's about the vulnerability. When I have $0 in the bank, the credit card is my emergency fund. I am dependent on it. If anything goes wrong, I have to ask the bank for permission to survive, and they charge me 24% for the privilege. I started to think about that $20 monthly cost differently. Is it a waste, or is it a premium? I pay for car insurance hoping I never crash. I pay for health insurance hoping I never get sick. Why shouldn't I pay $20 a month for sanity insurance? That $20 buys me the ability to cover a flat tire without using a credit card. It buys me the ability to say, I can handle this instead of spiraling into panic. I looked at the screen again. The math says I'm losing. But my gut tells me that if I send this money away, I'm just setting myself up to fail the moment the wind blows the wrong way. The numbers on the spreadsheet are black and white, but life isn't. Life is messy. And for the first time, I think I'm realizing that efficiency isn't the same thing as safety. I closed the calculator tab. I didn't make the transfer. The $1,000 stayed where it was. So here is where I land with my 1% mindset today. I am choosing to pay the peace of mind tax. I decided that keeping this $1,000 liquid is the most important step I can take to actually stay on this journey. If I pay off the debt today but have to borrow again next week, I destroy my momentum. And honestly, momentum is worth more to me right now than saving 20 bucks. I imagine I am building a foundation. Before I was trying to build a roof, the debt payoff, while standing in quicksand. Every time I moved, I sank. This $1,000 isn't just money. It's a concrete slab. It's a floor. It means that when, not if, but when, something goes wrong, I don't have to look at my credit card provider and ask for help. I can look at my own savings account and handle it. That shift in power feels huge. It feels like I'm finally breaking the cycle. I know the financial textbooks would give me an F for this assignment. They'd say I'm inefficient, but I'm learning that personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. My behavior improves when I'm not panicked. My decision-making gets better when I'm not terrified of my checking account balance hitting zero. So the lesson for me this week is that perfect is the enemy of done. A perfect plan that causes me to quit isn't a good plan. An imperfect plan that keeps me moving forward is the one I'm sticking with. I'm going to pay that $20 a month in interest costs, and I'm going to look at it as a subscription fee for my sanity. It allows me to sleep. And a well-rested me is going to attack that debt much harder in the long run than a panicked, broke me ever could. We are often so hard on ourselves, trying to optimize every single penny, that we forget we are humans with emotions and fears. It's okay to prioritize safety over math sometimes. It's okay to need a buffer. My 1% mission for tomorrow is just to separate that money mentally. I'm renaming that savings account from savings to my wall. It stands between me and new debt. If you are starting from zero, don't worry about the 1,000. Just move $5. Just $5 that is yours that sits there, waiting to protect you. What is your safety number? Let's talk about it in the comments. I am not a financial expert or advisor. This content is for documenting my personal journey and for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions.